This is Joey Lombardi. Joey is a technology procurement expert, and he is currently mulling over writing a video about artificial intelligence. Not another video about artificial intelligence's usefulness, or if it is going to replace all of our jobs. He has done that already. Joey is wondering if people want a video about AI contracting. What makes AI contracts more difficult than other software contracts? What are things procurement professionals need to consider? By the way, my name is Lily. I am part of an AI voiceover service by 11 Labs. Even now, Joey is concerned about copyright issues, and if the real Lily can sue this company, and any video using this voice will eventually have to be taken down. We live in wild times.
These really are wild times.
Hello, sorcerers. Yes, that video intro is right. I want to talk to you again about artificial intelligence, but I want to take a very procurement-focused view on talking about artificial intelligence. I could spend hours discussing the benefits of artificial intelligence, if it's overly hyped, if it's really, truly transformative, if it's just a tool. I could get into all of that, but I'm not going to touch that in this video. I've done bits and pieces of that before. What I want to talk to you about is how to procure, how to contract for artificial intelligence, and why it is increasingly difficult. Perhaps casual viewers or people who do procurement that don't necessarily touch technology or software, they may think that an artificial intelligence software contract is the same as any other software contract. It most definitely isn't. Why is it different? First and foremost, artificial intelligence, its birth, its usage, it has come from unnatural places. Historically, if you are going to use a software product or sell a software product, it is coming from code. It is coming from code that you pay developers to generate. And it is true that artificial intelligence is also coming from code that developers have generated. But that code has been set loose on the internet, and it is going out and gathering data. And that data, let's be honest, may or may not have been collected legally. The mother soup of how that AI comes up with an answer, it can get really complicated on where it's pulling its sources from. And the reality is, it's probably pulling its sources from this video right here and millions and billions of other videos that people are producing. All of this content that people have been pushing out into the internet for years, it's aggregating, it's pulling it, and it's not accrediting nor paying people who have generated the content. So videographers, bloggers, authors, all of these people who have been generating content, whether it's on the internet or if it's just digital, the reality is that that information has probably been soaked into some artificial intelligence product that is being offered on the market right now. And when you start to get into generative examples, so version 1, version 2 of an AI solution, now other people and other developing companies and developers may be using that generation 1 and generation 2 on public data, not really public data. It's been trained on stuff that is accessible on the internet. Whether or not it's accessible and copywritten, the AI didn't care, and it has been set loose. And now that that horse is out of the barn, whatever analogy you want to make, it's never going back in. And I get into all this passionately because if your company wants to buy a tool that is generating answers and wants to leverage that, and you may use that for a variety of reasons, it could very well be that your company could be liable for a potential lawsuit if the product that you are using is getting sued by a copyright holder. And even if you don't get sued by the copyright holder, it could very well be that this critical tool that you have built all of this energy around, you have built structure, process, you have trained people to use, it could very well be that this tool, by court order, may be stopped. So you may not be able to use this thing that you've invested time, money, and energy into. So the foundation of artificial intelligence is shaky. The usage of it for corporations is potentially problematic, and the people who are selling you and offering you these services has to take certain risks and assure user bases that they are willing to accept the liabilities and they will come to reasonable outcomes. Case in point, Microsoft has basically done just that with their artificial intelligence solutions. They have given some degree of limitation of liability to say that they're aware of this situation and they will not hold the customers that are buying the products, they will protect them from potential lawsuits. But I want to assure you, these lawsuits will be coming. The internet has been and can be the Wild West when it comes to taking content, accessing content, leveraging information. I want you to think about this. For years, people didn't really pay for news articles. They were available online and then there were ads. Within the last 4 or 5 years, the ad model is going away and it's going to a paywall. People don't like paywalls, but the AI has ways of bypassing the paywalls, and that information is starting to soak in to their core base models, whether or not the newspapers and the authors are being compensated. And when it comes to copyright, specific types of copyright, that is the only time where things get serious when it comes to the internet. Case in point, let's go back 20 years, Napster. It's very rare that these piracy situations actually come to some conclusion where it really holistically, the piracy stops. And the only time this has really happened is when people stole from the music industry and when they stole digital content from Disney. When you take content from major corporations, the lawsuits get flying. And when that content starts to get soaked into an AI solution, you're going to start to see some very weird things happen from a legalities perspective. And it's happening now. And I want to go just a little bit deeper on what happens when you set an AI loose within your own corporation, within your own firewall. If the company that you are buying the AI service from sets their AI loose on your company, and let's say that you have someone's personal identification information, personal health information, depending on the type of industry that you're in. If this thing is going through your systems and aggregating this information and then retraining itself to use that information more efficiently, what does that do from a legalities perspective? Does it start to understand, and even if it's obfuscating your customer's data, is it smart enough to piece things back together where it can identify someone? Has that somehow magically infringed upon your company's IP? Once you set this AI loose within your own company, are you infringing on your customers' rights? Are you infringing upon your own personal IP? These are things that you have to set in your contract language ahead of time. And an AI company or an AI services company will be very hesitant to do that because they're not going to want to modify every contract with every customer to have specific language to protect the customer from this type of situation, especially as the AI evolves. They have no idea where this could potentially go. So it may limit them or it may infringe upon their ability to do updates and changes to the system because they have to worry about hundreds of changes to each individual contract. So I am mildly sympathetic to the software suppliers, but this is something that everyone has to consider before they execute a contract and let this AI loose within their organization. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, I'm just not going to let the AI loose in my company. I'm not going to buy any AI products if I have to deal with all of this. You don't have that luxury because many of your favorite software companies are updating their code with AI right now. So you may be buying and are currently using a piece of software that when it gets its next update, if it hasn't already, it may have AI functionality built into it. So not only do you have to worry about the contracts that you are executing now, you have to worry about the contracts that you have historically executed to make sure that you either A, have protections to ensure that the AI can't go back in and start scanning your information and doing something weird with it, or you have to go and write an amendment that says you will never turn on this AI functionality within my company unless I give you express permission to do so. Yeah, this is a real concern and it is happening in real time. I deal with this all of the time. Because AI has been developed and it is standing on the shoulders of other giants and other technologies, when you are thinking about a legal situation, you're really dealing with layers upon layers upon layers. So again, you're dealing at the base level. How was this AI trained? Where was the content generated? And does the company that's selling you this have rights to that content? right? So they may get sued. They may go away. That AI solution may go belly up and you can't use it anymore. And then you're dealing with, if you let this thing loose within your own company, what are you doing to your customers? Are you introducing them to risk? Are you introducing them to some kind of security concern? Is there a potential lawsuit from that if something weird happens with the AI? And then you're also worried about, is the AI taking your IP and doing something with it that's going to make it better, and then they go and they sell that IP or that functionality to a competitor that takes away your special sauce, your advantages, and just hands it to somebody else because you've been working with that company before and sooner. In addition to all of that, you have to think about the ethical concerns. When you are looking at artificial intelligence, it's been proven that there has been some very weird biases. So depending on what you are setting this AI loose to do, what it is scanning, what it is analyzing, there may be some ethical concerns about how it is rendering results. There may be ethical concerns about how it's being used. So there is a reputational risk to your company depending on the AI engine and platform that you're using. So that may also introduce your company to some weird lawsuits because you may get outcomes and derive outcomes based on an algorithm that is biased and flawed. So unless there are checks and balances, and you are really looking at how is this thing producing the results, and are they good results, and are they good results for your company, you can have a lot of problems leveraging the AI, and there are a lot of problems contracting the AI because a company is not going to want to have to consider all of these legal conditions before they let you loose on their product. So if you go off and start redlining their base level contract and saying, I'm not going to agree to this, I'm not going to agree to that, I'm not going to agree to that, guess what's going to happen? They're going to tell you, we're going to walk away. And I guess the thing is, and this is a classic procurement outcome, sometimes it is okay to just walk away. I understand your business partners may see this AI solution as a competitive advantage and a necessary solution to get to the next level and to not fall behind in the marketplace. And they're probably right. But you have to understand the long-term risks of what this AI solution is going to do and balance it against what it's going to do for you right now. Maybe it's better to grind on a contract for 6 months. And I'm not necessarily advocating for that. I know that people probably think procurement folks are like, yes, let's fight about a contract for a year and like not get any real work done. We don't want that. We don't want you to not have access to this thing. But there are real risks for this specific type of solution that people maybe don't consider because they just think it's just a normal piece of software. It's just another tool. And it is a tool. It's not magic, but it's a tool that was sort of built on some sketchy foundations. And that's the reality of what it is. And there is no going back from the origins of how this thing got created and taught. There's just moving forward. And can you move forward without introducing those risks and then creating a downstream effect of those risks, not only for your company, but for your customers? Layer after layer after layer. Well, my sorcerers, artificial intelligence is a topic that is not going to go away anytime soon. And thank goodness for me, because this is going to be an endless spring of content for me to be able to periodically revisit this topic and reintroduce some of these ideas, give some updates on things that I have learned about artificial intelligence as we progress through this mess. Because it is a mess and it is evolving, I'm going to continue to periodically revisit the topic. I hope you enjoy it. I would also hope that if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, leave a like. Also, leave a question about maybe something that you're experiencing about procuring artificial intelligence. I didn't want to make this a 45-minute video, so there's a bunch of stuff that I skipped over. This is just an introduction into the concept of why contracting for artificial intelligence is difficult. But please leave some notes, some comments, whatever it may be, some questions, and ask them, what do you want to know about when it comes to AI? I'm not saying that I am a full-blown expert on all of this stuff, but I am at the edge of the mountain when it comes to dealing with these topics. So let's learn together. Thank you for watching this video, and I will be back with another one in 2 weeks or whenever I come up with another topic. Have a great day. I don't know if this shot is going to work at all, but it's all about trying new things. I don't know. Maybe this will be fun. Or maybe this will be terrible. I'm using it either way.